office of the Always Believe House. And today we're going to continue your Staar Review 10, and it is going to be F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Okay, we're going to go through and do the factoring again, and we're going to graph and do the slope. Okay, so pretty simple stuff. We're not going to do many of these. Hopefully y'all are getting these down. Okay, so on number 12, when you factor, okay, and we're going to be doing a lot of this in the spring, but put 21x squared over 28x. And you want to get the GCF. The GCF is like your Bluebell truck, okay? So what's the largest number that could go into those? What do they have in common, okay? The long way to do this, okay, and I'm going to do this once. Some of y'all are starting to get this. Prime factor the top and the bottom. Okay, so if I were to prime factor the top and the bottom, 21x squared would be 3 times 7 times x times x. That's what I would get if I prime factored 27 or 21x squared. 28x would be 2 times 7 times x. That would be 28x, wouldn't it? Now then circle what they have in common. This is kind of how you did this in 5th grade when y'all simplified fractions. They both have a 7x, don't they? That is my GCF. When you factor, you're going to pull out the GCF, which is like your Bluebell truck. Now then draw parentheses and then drop your minus, and we're going to pull out the Bluebell truck. So basically, we're going to divide both of these by 7x. So if you divide by 7x, okay, I'm going to put 7x here for my Bluebell truck, and then we're going to go through and divide. 21 divided by 7 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. And then 28 divided by 7 is 4. And the x's cancel out, don't they? So if I were to multiply 7x times 3x minus 4, I would go up to 21x squared minus 21x. So you're pulling out that Bluebell truck. Ho, 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 ho. Now then, let's go to 15. I'm not going to help you with this, but remember, your slope on standard is negative a over b. So you would put down negative fraction bar, wouldn't you? And don't forget how to get your x-intercept and y-intercept. 20 divided by 2 would be your x-intercept. 20 divided by negative 5 would be your y-intercept, wouldn't it? Standard's pretty cool because you could get all that. Let's go to 16. We will be doing this after systems. We're going to be graphing inequalities. And I'm keeping these pretty simple for you. Remember, we're going to graph 2 lines. If it has an equal bar, it will be a solid line. If there is no equal bar, it will be dashed, right? A y-equal line is flat, and an x-equal line is vertical in it. So we're going to graph y equal 4 first. I'm going to put a dot on the y-axis at 4 and draw a solid line through that line. Now then, let's draw the next line. Okay, we're going to graph x greater than 2. X greater than 2. So it's going to go through the x-axis at 2. Since there's no equal bar, it's going to be a dashed line. Now then remember, we have 4 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. One of those parts will be double shaded. We got to figure out which part includes both sets, okay? So on the y-equal line, the y-axis goes up and down. I'm either going to shade above the red line or below the red line. I have y less than, don't I? Does everyone see the less than? Which way is less than on the y-axis? It's not up, it is down. So I'm going to draw an arrow down. That eliminates part 1 and part 4, doesn't it? Part 1 and part 4 can't be the right answer. So the right answer has to either be part 2 or part 3. If I shade left, it's going to be part 3. If I shade right, it's going to be part 2. Let's look at the x-equal line. I want my x's to be greater than 2. Which way's greater than on the x-axis? It's either left or right. To go greater than, you need to go right. So I need to go to the right on this one. So I need to go down and I need to go right. That puts my answer choice at this part, doesn't it? So this would be the double shaded part that would work with it. On your test, they probably will only have the double shaded part shaded. So at the bottom right, any ordered pair down here, let's take 5, 1. If I put 5 right here, I'm sorry, if I put 1 right here, 1 is less than or equal to 4, and 5 is greater than 2 in it. So if I were to put my x and y in my inequalities, it would make both of them true. That's what you're trying to get when you graph these inequalities. Which part of the graph makes both of them true? And lastly, number 17. Let's get the slope. So on this one, underline function of, and the ounces is y, the money is x. So my ounces is y, my money is x. This is flipped. Usually x is on the top. So I've taught you to go over here, draw fraction bar minus minus, use the first 2 dots, and we're going to put our y's on top, which will be 8 and 3. We're going to put our x's on the bottom, which is 35 and 15. Okay, and now we're going to simplify. We would get 5 over 20, which is 1/4 in it. So it's 1/4 of an ounce per $1 in it. So the graph of the table would be 1/4, and it'd be 1/4 ounce per dollar. Or you could say $1 or 1 ounce is $4 in it. But for $1, I could get 1/4 of an ounce. Does this table have direct variation? If I were to cross multiply this, I would get 105 and I would get 120. The table is not proportional in it. So it does not have direct variation. Hope you've had a blast today. If you need any help on 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14, message me. Look back at your old keys. It's the same thing, okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, you are amazing. You were created to do wonderful things, and always believe.